Hey everyone, welcome back to Talk Fluent. We're super happy you're hanging out with us today because this topic is gonna make your English sound way more natural.
Oh yeah, this is one of those tiny English words that native speakers use all the time, but English learners sometimes avoid because it feels confusing.
Exactly, and honestly, I used to sound so robotic when I was learning another language. I'd use super direct sentences like, I am tired or you are rude. Technically correct, but not always natural.
Same here, native speakers soften things a lot. And one of the easiest ways to sound smoother, more relaxed, and more conversational is by using the word being.
Today we're gonna cover 8 chill ways to use being in real English conversations, not textbook English, real life English.
Yup, we'll talk about expressions like being honest, stop being weird, thanks for being here, being late, and a bunch more.
And by the end of this episode, you'll know how to sound more friendly, emotional, natural, and honestly, more American in the way you speak English.
Plus, we'll show you common mistakes that learners make, because wow, some being mistakes can sound really awkward.
Oh, absolutely. Some sentences sound like a robot from 1997 trying to order coffee.
Human interaction successful.
Exactly, so if you've ever felt like your English sounds too stiff or too formal, this episode is for you.
And hey, before we jump in, tell us in the comments. Do you already use being when you speak English, or do you usually avoid it?
Also, don't forget to like this episode, subscribe to Talk Fluent, and share this with a friend who wants to sound more natural in English conversations.
Alright, let's get into these super useful ways to use being in English.
Okay, let's start with the most common basic use of being. A lot of the time, being describes someone's behavior or attitude right now.
Right, the structure is usually subject plus be verb plus being plus adjective.
Like you're being rude, he's being dramatic, they're being noisy.
Notice something important here. These sentences usually describe temporary behavior, not permanent personality.
Exactly, if I say you're rude, that sounds like your personality. But if I say you're being rude, it means your behavior right now is rude.
Huge difference.
Let's do some examples. You're being so quiet today. My brother is being annoying. Why are you being so serious?
Here are a few more. She's being really sweet today. My dog's being crazy. You're being extra right now.
Oh, being extra is such a fun American expression.
Yeah, it means someone is acting dramatic or doing too much.
Like if your friend takes 400 selfies before eating fries.
You can say, bro, you're being extra.
And listeners, try saying these out loud with us. I'm being lazy today. My boss is being nice. My friend is being weird.
Nice, speaking out loud really helps your brain remember natural patterns.
Another important thing, being is super emotional. Native speakers use it when reacting to people in the moment.
Totally, like, why are you being like this? You're being unfair. He's being difficult.
Ooh, being difficult is very common at work or in relationships.
Yeah, like the customer was being difficult. My little cousin is being difficult today.
Now let's talk about negatives.
Good idea, you can say, he isn't being honest. They aren't being respectful. I'm not being sarcastic.
Oh wow, I'm not being sarcastic is super useful because sometimes people misunderstand your tone.
Happens to me all the time.
Same, I'll say something normal and people are like, why are you mad?
And you're like, I'm literally just being tired.
Exactly.
Listeners, here's a quick challenge. Can you complete these sentences? My friend is being, my teacher is being, I'm being.
Put your answers in the comments. Seriously, writing your own examples helps so much.
Also, notice how casual and conversational these expressions sound. Native speakers use them every day.
Another thing, don't overthink grammar too much here. Think about emotion and behavior.
Yeah, if someone's acting strange right now, you naturally say, you're being weird.
Not, you currently possess strange behavioral qualities.
That sounds like a science experiment.
Exactly, keep it human, keep it simple.
Alright, quick recap. Being often describes temporary actions, moods, or behavior happening right now. And that's one of the easiest ways to instantly sound more natural in English conversations.
Alright, now let's move into another super common use of being, talking about situations, states, or experiences.
Yup, this use is everywhere in spoken English, especially in phrases like being tired, being busy, being honest.
The structure here is usually being plus adjective slash noun to describe a condition or situation.
For example, being a parent is hard, being sick sucks. Being busy all the time is exhausting.
Native speakers love this pattern because it sounds relaxed and conversational.
Compare these two to be a student is difficult. Being a student is difficult.
The second one sounds way more natural in everyday speech.
Totally, here are more examples. Being late makes me anxious. Being around positive people helps me. Being online too much is draining.
Wow, that last one is too real.
Seriously?
I also hear being honest constantly.
Oh yeah, like being honest, I didn't like the movie. Honestly and being honest are both common.
But being honest feels softer and more conversational sometimes.
Exactly, it sounds personal and relaxed.
Here's a little dialogue. Did you enjoy the party? Being honest, not really.
Nice, very natural.
Another popular one is, thanks for being here.
Oh yes, native speakers say that all the time in videos, podcasts, meetings, and friendships.
Like, thanks for being patient, thanks for being supportive, thanks for being honest.
These phrases sound warm and emotional.
They really do. They make conversations feel human.
Now let's compare formal and informal styles.
Good idea.
Formal, thank you for your support. Informal, thanks for being supportive.
Formal, I appreciate your patience. Informal, thanks for being patient.
Native conversations usually prefer the second style because it feels more personal.
Okay, listeners, quick practice time. Repeat these. Being tired isn't fun. Thanks for being kind. Being honest, I forgot.
Nice, and remember to stress the important words naturally. Thanks for being kind, being honest.
Here are 3 quick tips. First, use being to sound softer and more emotional. Second, use it when talking about life experiences or situations. Third, listen for these patterns in movies, podcasts, and YouTube videos.
You'll hear them constantly once you start noticing them.
Oh, absolutely. It's like when you learn a new word and suddenly everybody says it.
Exactly.
And listeners, write 1 sentence in the comments using being honest or thanks for being.
Perfect practice. Alright, quick review. This use of being helps you describe experiences, emotions, and situations in a supernatural way. And honestly, this is one of the biggest differences between textbook English and real spoken English.
Okay, now let's talk about another really useful use of being, using it for politeness, tone, and sounding less aggressive.
This one is huge in everyday conversations because native speakers often avoid sounding too direct.
Right, English speakers soften things a lot, and being helps with that.
For example, you're loud versus you're being a little loud.
The second one sounds softer and less rude.
Exactly, another example, you're selfish. You're being selfish right now.
Again, the second sentence focuses on temporary behavior, not the person's whole identity.
Which feels way kinder.
Here are some real-life situations. At work, my coworker is being passive-aggressive.
In relationships, you're being distant lately.
With family, my little brother's being annoying again.
Wow, siblings really inspire English vocabulary.
Seriously.
Another cool thing is tone. Your tone changes everything with being.
Oh, absolutely, like you're being crazy. That could sound playful or rude depending on your voice.
Exactly, so listeners, pay attention not only to words but also delivery.
Here's a playful example, you're being dramatic. That can sound funny between friends.
But if you say it angrily, different story.
Totally different vibe.
Another natural expression is just being real.
Oh yes, Americans say that a lot.
Like, I'm just being honest, I'm just being real.
These phrases show honesty, but in a casual way.
Here's a mini dialogue. Do these pants look weird? I'm just being honest, yeah, kinda.
Ouch, brutal honesty.
But natural English.
Okay, mini practice time. I'll say a situation and you think of a being sentence. Your friend talks nonstop during a movie.
You're being really loud.
Your coworker ignores your messages.
He's being rude.
Your friend helps you move apartments.
Thanks for being so helpful.
Nice, listeners, try creating your own answers too.
And say them out loud. Your mouth needs practice, not just your brain.
That's so true.
Another useful phrase, being nice.
Yeah, like he's just being nice. She's being nice to everyone today.
This is super common in dating conversations too.
Oh, definitely. Does he like me? No, he's just being friendly.
English gets complicated fast.
Vags.
Final quick structure review, being plus adjective, being plus honest slash real slash nice, thanks for being. These patterns help your English sound softer, friendlier, and way more natural in real conversations.
All right, now let's talk about some common mistakes with being, because wow, learners make these all the time.
Totally normal though, even advanced learners get confused sometimes.
Mistake number 1, using being when it's unnecessary.
Incorrect, I being tired, correct, I'm tired.
Exactly, being usually needs a helper verb like am, is, or are.
So she is being rude, not she being rude.
Mistake number 2, using being for permanent personality traits.
Right, native speakers usually use being for temporary behavior. Incorrect, my dad is being tall, correct, my dad is tall.
Because tall is permanent, not temporary behavior.
Another weird one, she's being intelligent.
That sounds strange because intelligence is usually considered permanent.
Better, she's smart, or she's being really thoughtful today.
Nice correction.
Mistake number 3, forgetting context.
Oh yes, listen to this, you're being crazy.
Between close friends, funny.
In a serious argument, maybe rude.
Tone matters a lot with beings.
Mistake number 4, overusing being honest.
Oh wow, yes.
If every sentence starts with being honest, people may think something rude is coming next.
Like being honest, your haircut looks terrible. Being honest, your cooking scared me.
That escalated quickly.
Instead, sometimes just say, honestly, to be honest.
Or say nothing at all if your opinion is dangerous.
Smart advice.
Let's do quick incorrect vs correct practice.
Incorrect, he being weird. Correct, he's being weird.
Incorrect, she being kind. Correct, she's being kind.
Incorrect, my brother is being short. Correct, my brother is short.
Unless he suddenly became tiny overnight.
Which would honestly be impressive.
Listeners, here's your challenge. Can you fix these? They being loud, I being honest, she being lazy today.
Pause and try saying the corrected versions out loud.
And remember, mistakes are normal. Seriously, native speakers mess up language too.
Absolutely, fluency isn't about perfection. It's about communicating naturally and confidently.
Also, don't be afraid to experiment. That's how you improve.
Exactly, the more real conversations you have, the more natural these patterns will feel. So don't stress too much, just keep practicing and keep speaking.
All right, everybody, it's practice time. Let's do a quick choose the correct sentence activity.
Love these. Okay, number 1, A, you're rude. B, you're being rude.
Which one sounds better if your friend interrupts you one time?
Definitely B, you're being rude, because it focuses on the current behavior.
Nice. Number 2, A, thanks for your patient. B, thanks for being patient.
Easy one, thanks for being patient.
Super natural and common.
Number 3, A, being honest, I forgot. B, I being honest, I forgot.
Correct answer.
A, being honest, I forgot.
Nice. Number 4, A, my dog is being crazy today. B, my dog being crazy today.
Correct answer is a because we need the helper verb is.
Perfect. Number 5, A, she's being helpful. B, she helpful.
Both can work in different situations, actually.
True, but she's being helpful sounds more conversational and focuses on current behavior.
Exactly.
Now listeners, create your own sentence using being honest or being weird or thanks for being.
And say it out loud. Speaking practice matters way more than silently reading.
Also, try different tones. You're being dramatic. Funny tone, annoyed tone, playful tone.
Same words, completely different feeling.
That's real English right there.
You can also make sentences more formal or casual. Formal, thank you for being understanding. Casual, thanks for being cool about it.
Ooh, being cool about it is super natural American English.
Yeah, like sorry I was late. No worries, thanks for being cool about it.
All right, listeners, final challenge. Use one being sentence today in a real conversation.
Text a friend, talk to a coworker, say it out loud at home. Real practice creates real fluency. And remember, natural communication matters more than perfect grammar every single time.
Alright everyone, today we learned how to stop sounding robotic and start sounding more natural with the word being.
Yup, we covered 3 big ideas today. Using being for temporary behavior, using it for experiences and emotions, and using it to sound softer and more conversational.
We also talked about common mistakes, tone, politeness, and real-life situations where native speakers use these expressions constantly.
And honestly, this tiny word can make a huge difference in how natural your English sounds.
Absolutely. Instead of sounding super direct or textbook-like, you can sound warmer, smoother, and more relaxed.
So here's a question for you guys. Which being expression are you gonna start using first?
Tell us in the comments. We love reading your examples and seeing your progress.
And if this episode helped you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Talk Fluent so you never miss our English conversation episodes.
Keep practicing, keep speaking out loud, and remember, you do not need perfect English to have real conversations.
Exactly, confidence grows through practice, mistakes, and consistency.
Thanks for spending time with us today. You guys are awesome.
Take care, keep learning, and see you next time.